spam as well.
Right.
So it's a stable pick. I think it works nicely into what T1's trying to draft here.
You also have some very, very easy setup for the spear when you get a Nightmare off. It's just
Ah, yeah, that's true.
you just Nightmare and he just spears. You can't really miss.
Hmm.
Not that they'll be laning together. I believe it will be a Skywrath Mars lane for the off lane, but you could switch it up if you really wanted to. They are both quite flexible in terms of supporting, I suppose. And Boom Esports, though, gonna make their fourth pickup now. You know, the one problem with the Mars in this game is you are still up against that Shadow Demon. So
Mm.
anyone you do get the spear off on will be able to just get disrupted by that Shadow Demon. Now Boom Esports gonna pick up a Witch Doctor. Not exactly
Yeah,
the support duo I think about when I think about supports, but there you have it. The Shadow Demon Witch Doctor is upon us.
we've seen the Witch Doctor bounce back recently, right? A lot of teams have been going for it, for the sustain, for the maledict and the stun. Those work wonders in lanes if you play aggressive. So I do see Boom maximizing this. That does mean they already know the mid match, right? As you mentioned before, now it's really just locked into Mikado. There's no flexibility to be left. What we are lacking is the Dreamo Cell hero. What will come out? You know, with how fast this kind of draft goes, the PA can come out, although you will be worried about the magic damage here. Perhaps the Rage King makes an appearance once more. You've got the Beastmaster for push. The Skeletons are going to help that if you do go for the Dreamo Cell Skeleton King. I forgot that he does have the Arcana.
True. Speaking of, can't wait for that Queen of Pain one to come out. Everyone keeps talking about the AM and the Wind Ranger. Who cares about those? My girl, the Queen of Pain, is getting her own. It's very, very nice indeed.
Oh, come on.
All you young weebs.
Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage. It's the dream. Anti-Mage and Wind Ranger. Oh, it's perfect.
I'm
He can have
surprised.
Queen of Pain. It's
I'm
fine.
surprised so many people looked at Anti-Mage and thought, "Wow, he would be really hot if he was a girl." I never thought
Well,
of it that way.
well, you know how weebs are, Mike. I've got no comments in that.
Yeah.
No comments. Just
Look, it's
it
fine.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom Esports. Final ban out now. 30 seconds left. So, of course, T1 did ban out that Medusa, so they don't have to want to deal with that from Dreamer Cell. Which is fair enough, because they were very, very effective with it in their previous series today. And Boom, still going to have quite a deep think about this final ban. In fact, they're just going to let the time run out. That was a random.
Okay.
Was that a random?
I wish I could tell. I don't think so. I think it just skips your ban if you actually just time it out.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, they just waited to the last second.
They could random this though. It reminds me of the one game we saw random. I think that was Sexy Bambo's game, where they last pick a Sky and people were like, was that random? Ah, they do go for something logical, unfortunately for us. It is the Ursa coming out. There is strong kiting potential here though from T1. Like they've got the Bane, they've got the Sky, they've got the Mars. There are ways to keep that Ursa in its place. But if it gets to an early start, with everything else Boom has, it can come online fast if you do itemize that way. So Boom looks to want to play a much faster game than game one. And T1, they've tightened up that team fight. How are they going to close out? Okay, they get the Venomancer that they love to pick up every now and again. That tends to be the 4-Ev hero. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case here. It does look like they're going to have to toss that. Okay, it is 4-Ev. So IYD Mars? Yeah. All right. Not quite how I expected the draft to close out, but there's the team fight from T1. There's all the magic damage that you could hope for. There's all the kiting potential for the Ursa Dreamo Cell. I'd say skip the blink. He's probably never going to be able to get that off in a big fight.
Interesting. I guess the Veno does work quite nicely in just kiting Dreamer Cell around. So very, very frustrating to have to play into that Veno if you are the Ursa.
Oh, yeah.
That being
It's,
said,
it's
Dreamer Soul with the Enrage won't really have to worry too much about all this magic burst damage that's coming out. Gonna be able to block
mm,
a lot of that damage out with Enrage.
yeah. It's really going to be about his timing in the enrage, and of course a BKB kind of fixes all of those issues. So it's the timing in those, but T1, we've seen Forev play that Venomancer a lot, right? From Genisperus all the way till now. Just a
Uh,
solid pick for him.
it's not doing that DC thing again, is it? All the heroes have disappeared for me now, which is not very nice.
I think I don't see any disconnection notice. I do see FBZ reconnected.
Okay.
Looks like we're all still in lobby, so should be fine. Yeah, it's just a slow startup. Yeah, Dota 2, Dota 2 beta, according to our install folder.
Okay. Thank you for that, John. I don't know, Makoto. I don't know. We'll get into game number
Ah,
2 of this best of 2 between... No, we
oh,
won't.
classic. Classic. There's no other way to stop, Mike. This is the last game for the night. This has been a tight rope series, and of course, you have to have this.
What are you having?
Honestly, yeah,
Yes?
no, these random crashes. It's happened to me twice, and I've never mentioned it. But you're talking over the end of the game, and for me, when the ancient blows up, I crash to desktop. So I'm like, yeah. Then I'm like, I don't have stats. I'm just gonna say stuff and hope that you don't ask me for stats sometimes, because I'm not in game, because it's a beta.
Oh, goodness
Ah,
me. So, I was gonna ask you, what are you having for dinner after this game, John?
I don't, I don't even know. I don't have leftovers. I'm just gonna maybe pop open a can of pork and beans. Just some classic Hunts pork and beans at night. Doesn't sound particularly healthy for nighttime food, but you gotta eat what you gotta eat, you know?
Yeah, true.
I would love a burger.
I
Some
heard.
chat about burger.
That's what I was referring to earlier on.
So many good burgers in America. We don't have those options here. We have Shake Shack now, I do believe, in like Manila, but that's for rich people. Like really, it's out of my price range. I've had Shake Shack in Korea. I kind of regretted spending that money. Didn't feel worthwhile. Still, I'm sure everyone from Boomside's hungry too. They're clumping up bot. So I think they're hungry for first blood, not burger.
You ever considered, like, making a YouTube channel for food reviews or something, John?
I don't know how well that would go. I know that sounds like a good idea. In case analyzing doesn't work for me, yeah, I could just fall back to that. Would be fun.
30 seconds to battle.
Boom's going really deep into this Radiant jungle. Like, Kescute gonna try and scout out if they have a ward by that tier 1 tower. They don't.
They've got one in a pretty nice spot by the rune, so they do spot all of this movement. Should allow T1 no hesitation to grab those 2 runes up top
Ooh,
and be an even
Kescute.
trade.
I thought he'd hold on to that observer ward, seeing that there wasn't one on the right side. But he assumes it's on the left side of the river instead. Places it on the cliff, and that will be dewarded very, very early by T1. It's a good start for them
Bit
already.
awkward. Definitely is, and should help them out, taking that vision away if they do invest. You take a look down mid, of course, IYD on the mid Mars. This is not something we see too often. Do you see every now and again? Mikado shouldn't struggle too much. It should be pretty even in terms of farm unless IYD decides to really play aggressive. And he does.
This Mars Ember matchup, you wouldn't really expect it to be very fun for the Ember. Makoto may find himself ahead early on, but once you got that God's Rebuke up, it does become a bit harder for Makoto to really put up with this kind of harass that In Your Dream can push out. It does hurt.
Really does, and IYD with a slight level advantage already, just leveraging it. Of course, when you're up against an Ember, you can skip the Bulwark. So You can't just go for this more aggressive build.
Yeah, you don't need that. You don't need the shield. It's all good. Bot lane, Joe Cam gonna be there on that Skywrath mage. He's there with Hyde and FBZ, or rather against them, because he'll be trying to support Miracle on this Luna. I'm intrigued to see what kind of build we see coming out from this Luna as well, because from what I've seen in other games in other regions, it's been mostly magic builds on these Lunas.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much physical at all.
Yeah, the focus still is Ags, even on the core. Although we've seen a couple of players go for Mask of Madness, just for early farm. That has also been on a bit of an upward trend. We'll see just how well Miracle's early farm is. I think it's really down to that. If he gets a good start, early Mask of Madness helps you speed up, and then you tend to go into the Ags anyway.
Top lane, Dreamer's Soul going to make a jump here onto Polison. That paralyzing cask doing a lot of work, but Polison will brain sap. Dreamer's Soul won't be bothering to dive for that Bane. They just wanted some harassment out, and they do get the salve usage out of Polison.
It's a interesting build coming out from Kezcute as well. He does opt for the level 2 Voodoo. Not something too common, but
Well,
up in a Venomancer lane, you've got to have that.
It's very unorthodox, but I do like it. It does help. Like, generally speaking, you usually wouldn't assume you have the mana pool for it, but he does have that very early Sage's Mask as well. So he probably will be able to keep up.
Yeah, Forev is just not doing as much damage early on as you'd expect. The Gale costs him a lot of mana, and for Kezcute to sustain at level 1 isn't too much mana per second, so it's worthwhile just to keep Dreamocell in the lane. And his last hits aren't great, but he's not completely out of it, so he's still finding some initial farm.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
No.
It's definitely going to be a bit of a challenging lane for this Ursa. We'll see. He can keep up in CS, because right now Dreamer Soul is still at 9 CS in comparison to the 14 of the Veno. These Venomancers can be quite devastating to play against if they really do take off. Just feels like you can't come back after some point if their farm escalates way too far.
Yeah, and again, we've seen Forever on this hero multiple times. That was on Genisbris some time ago. But it's one of his signature heroes. It's something that every team continuously drafts for him. He's doing fine. Even if he loses out in this lane, which it doesn't look like, he can always go into the jungle. And look at that. Early Urn up and running already for Forev.
That's the dream. Dreamer Soul going to try and make the jump onto the Veno, but Forever will be just perfectly fine. It's a great feeling to get that early Urn now, and if you can find some kills, you can really set a nice pace in this laning phase. That Urn on top of your Gale and Poison Sting damage is really obnoxious.
Yeah, it really is. And of course, there's the build-up into the Spirit Vessel, which used to drop you to negative regen. Not quite the case anymore, but still potent. And I think that's something T1 can build off of. Forev is having such a good lane that they can even have Paulson just play in the jungle, harass Kezcute, and prevent the pulls.
There's no real pressure being applied on this bot lane. FBZ just taking care of his own farmers, and Miracle is doing the same thing on the Luna. Dokam is there to keep him safe, and Hyde hasn't really bothered trying to go after the Luna either. Maybe they're just not really concerned about what the Luna can do itself. I guess as a ranged hero, you can't really chase her down with the balls of FBZ anyway.
Nah. It is risky, though, to give a Luna this early farm. Again, if they do opt for the early Mask of Madness, Miracle can just dip into the jungle and outfarm everyone in Boom. No one has the same pace as a Luna does in this game.
That is true. They're going to try and go into FBZ in your dream, making a quick rotation in. Arena of Blood is there, but a nice disruption out from Hyde. Still FBZ going to be in a bit of trouble. They do get First Blood onto Hyde, and they also get FBZ on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, that's a really early rotation out from IYD, but as soon as he hits 6, He knows he's got to use that arena. I love the aggression coming out from his Mars. And just having that really opens up Miracle's lane. Hits level 5 on the Luna, so just a few points away from 6. And once you're 6, there's no way Boom can really commit to trying to burst you down.
And the nice thing about that rotation as well is Paulson gets to come in and get a free creep wave for himself in that mid lane. Get himself up to almost level 4 now in that Bane. Tries to go after the haste rune up at the top lane, but Makoto does chain him up and take it for himself. Of course, that rotation from In Your Dream did mean Makoto did get a bit more laning presence for himself, as he was struggling up against the Mars. He has caught up a little bit now, not too far behind in terms of CS. But In Your Dream is just going to chase him down. He knows he's jungling right now. He doesn't have arena, but he wants to just spear him to a tree, but Makoto, he will haste up, and it's back into the other jungle, maybe just the mid lane.
Yeah, it's not easy for Mikado, and we haven't seen him have this rough of a start. It's not too bad. Like, he does have 36 last hits, but a lot of those are jungle creep, so not as much value. And T1 so far, taking control of that early momentum. 2-0, less than 1k lead for them. They are making this draft work so far. Boom just not being able to punish, and Kezcute.
Yeah, gonna go for the TP play. Forev won't have the damage output. You can see Forev really wants to get that first kill so he can get those urn charges up. Not quite finding it yet. He may need a rotation onto that Ursa. Paulson will be back on the Bane, but you don't have the Fiend's Grip yet to really be able to set up here on the Ursa. In Your Dream, he is running back to the Fountain, so we could possibly see a rotation out from him up to the top lane this time. If they could find it, they could move into a very early top T1.
Yeah, it's one of the beauties of T1's draft, just having that great push potential with a Venomancer, is really strong. Like, from a fight near a tower, you can just go straight back in. Although it does look like T1 will just drag IYD back mid to match Mikado's movement. So they really just don't want Mikado to have that good start and really build up on that Ember.
Yeah, In Your Dream, he's not really willing to make the secondary rotation yet. Makoto, though, will. He does go down towards the bot lane. Disruption is out on Jokam, but there's a TP in from In Your Dream. They will... Oh no, nice Nightmare dodge from Paulson. And now FBZ trapped up in the arena. Does commit the Roar onto In Your Dream, just stopping him from spearing. And so really the arena does nothing. But nobody's dead yet on either side. 4-on-3 down at the bot lane, and Boom will just back off. Or maybe they don't fast enough. Makoto is being chased by Paulson. No, he'll be fine. He'll pop the invis and maybe look for a way back into this.
It's really risky, though. You still have that Eclipse on Miracle. And isolated like this, it's a really easy time to land all of those beams onto one hero. Gonna have to play it safe. And T1, well, they do waste some time down there. But it's not like you were finding farm in Mikado anyway, so it's kind of both mids missing out on some farm. This is freeing up, I suppose, the top lane just a tad for Boom. Dreamwhistle just has to deal with Forev, but you're at the point with the Venomancer where the solos are annoying, the wards are tanky, and Dreamwhistle's farm is not as fast as you'd want it to be.
Well, there were pings out from Makoto to try and go onto Miracle on that Luna, but he'll come down bot. They'll just start forcing that T1 tower. Now a smoke up from the side of T1. They're going to start moving up towards that top lane. Dreamer Cell will leave the lane just before that Centaur came in for a stun. That is, of course, Miracle's dominated creep. It'll be a direct trade for the T1s. Though I've got to say, Boom Esports definitely have a chance to try and defend their own T1 if they wish. But it looks like they won't bother. Maybe just rotate into the mid lane and try and start harassing out that T1 tower mid. A Kezcute, In Your Dream, commits arena, does find the Witch Doctor, gets an easy spear off as well, and that'll be a very, very simple kill. Now Makoto will show mid. You don't really have that lockdown yet for this Ember. They have the Ancient Seal, but they just can't break the gap fast enough without really that Fiend's Grip or a Spear from In Your Dream. So he'll be fine to just Remnant out.
Yeah, and again, you're seeing T1 find a little bit more off the map, right? Like they're still maintaining that less than 1k net worth lead. You've got a good build-up on Miracle and on Forev, and even IYD is not doing too bad despite all those rotations. Still, boom, they smoke up, they want to find someone.
FBZ committed Raw, does end up at least finding Jokam in the end. He really wanted Polison on the Bane, but the Brain Sap at the end of the day did heal him back up.
Miracle.
Meanwhile, top lane Miracle is going to be in trouble. Makoto does find the position 1 Luna. They want that dominating creep as well, but he's out of there.
You know the worst thing about that? Miracle cleared out a camp by accident, and he'd actually dropped the Keen Optic. Guess who has it? It was Makoto who has it. So he doesn't have his own... There's 5 neutral items for Boom. It's there. That's not something you see too often if you can check that tab. But 5 items up for Boom.
Oh,
That's a pretty big one. Like the Keen Optic, that's really useful.
yeah,
And
it
just
definitely
having
is.
that on the Witch Doctor, man, he's just gonna have the sustain, gonna have the reach with the Maledict and the paralyzing cast. That's a bit painful to lose out on.
So now everybody has a neutral item. Nobody makes any excuses about, you know, not having the right item or there's just none. Everyone gets one. T1 won't
Everyone
really
on Boom.
enjoy that.
No, definitely not. And well, it's a bit of a trade. Boom has found a couple more kills, right? Like they still are behind in farm, but you look at those graphs, really even. We're looking at maybe a 400 swing at the extremes between Dreamocell and Miracle, but that's down to the fact that the Luna just farms a lot faster. You look at Dreamocell. He's building up into the Battle Fury on this Ursa. He knows he has to kind of play the long game. There's no way they fight even if he gets an early item. So he just wants to farm. Save up for a BKB. Save up for an Abyssal. Once you have the BKB, it does open up a bit, but Boom, you're just going to have to play the stall game.
That they will. But T1 won't really want to do that. They do smoke up, running towards the mid lane. Kezcute, slow it up with that concussive shot, and now the Mystic Flare won't actually be enough, but the Gale does come in from Forev. Now Makoto goes in. Polison trying to Nightmare dodge, will still go down here to Makoto. There'll be a roar out onto Forev as well. He does commit that Poison Nova, but is falling low. Does he get out of this one? He's been disrupted up. Forev still falling, not quite dead yet, however. Still Shadow Poison's coming in, and they do get the kill, and now Makoto, he's gone too far. The Eclipse, it will not take him out. He will remnant back out of there. He'll be alright. A lot of tips coming out for Makoto. He does end up surviving in the end.
Kezcute just lived through that. He had Nova, he had the Gale. It's the level 1 Voodoo is enough to mitigate a lot of the damage of Forev. That is a very bad sign for T1, and we talk about sensitive timings. Venomancer is really sensitive to this early game advantage, because once BKB is up, Veno has no presence. So this is the time for Forev to be strong, and if he can't even find these kills for his team, then something really is going wrong here for T1, at least early on.
Yep. You still do have a Miracle to rely on that POS 1 Luna, but he's got a long way to go. Top of the net worth board, and he's maintaining that farm. Just going to have to keep going at it. Dreamcell's ever so close now to that Battle Fury as well. He just needs the Mithril Hammer pick up, and that's about 1k away.
Gonna really speed up his farm. Of course, T1. They shouldn't be too upset at the farming game. Miracle is just making good pace towards Manta style. So not opting for the Massive Madness this time. Going for the traditional Luna build for a safe build-up. Good scan coming out from him. Be able to avoid any sort of confrontation from FBZ. And just TP's out.
In Your Dream top lane is there with Polson though, and they're just going to go into Kezcute. They commit the arena, just want the easy kill. They'll get it. No problems there. They give him the tip as well in Your Dream.
I mean, at this point, you're committing ults for Witch Doctor. It's nice, and I like the aggression. It just feels like you should be finding more. They clumped up 3 heroes up top for that.
They did.
Not a high priority target. You look at Dreamo Cell, he's just bought. They're just not going for him.
Yeah, they just want the T2 tower. There is a smoke up, but you don't have the arena now. So how do you initiate? They do have Fiend's Grip. I don't know if they're going to have enough damage, but they do go in. Forev is TPing as well. They do get the Mystic Flare off onto FBZ, but he roars in time, cancelling off the Fiend's Grip. Now Forev going to die straight away on that Veno. And Makoto, I believe he does kill off the Bane now. He does stick charge up. Nightmare dodge as... Did he Nightmare dodge? That Remnant damage?
Like
Nevertheless, he does survive. Hide, concussive shot is going to connect. Spear is there from In Your Dream, not really connecting. He will die. Just going to take a bit more time is all. It actually wasn't as bad as it should have been for T1. A 1-for-2 trade. They only lose out on Forev. They do find the Beastmaster and Shadow Demon.
It's a bit of a better trade for T1. The one big thing is that, Dreamo Cell was around and does still manage to finish up that Battle Fury. So this is the point when his farm should be able to keep pace with Miracle. And Miracle doesn't have a substantial lead despite being on the Luna. Luna's one strong point is that camp clearing. Hasn't been a high priority until now. Been happy to join his team. So that has given Dreamo Cell some time to catch up. And he is saving for an SNY first. So just wanting the stats, not actually opting for the BKB. Guess he doesn't feel threatened by 4F.
Me and Nightmare out onto Makoto, who was trying to chase down Polison. Makoto is still going to chase for Polison and should be able to find this. Get the chains off with the Flame Guard, and Dreamo Cell will be the one to take the kill.
Just giving your Ursa a little bit more to play with. No camps to clear out though, so slightly inefficient, but they will go mid. They can shove it. They've got FBZ around. They've got the creeps. Should be relatively fast.
And Makoto, very deep, gets a roar off though In Your Dream. Dreamo Cell is there. It's a nice spear out. Is it going to matter though? He puts down the arena, trying to get out of there, but no. At least he gets the Helm of the Dominator creep though. FBZ kind of forgetting about that. Does give away 200 gold back to In Your Dream. But they found the T1 mid tower now. And Boom Esports even find a double damage. They may go for a Roshan.
It's gonna be easy. They've got the Ursa. They do smoke up first. They want to find more.
Why not? Jokam getting caught out. Can't do much in those chains and does just die. And yeah, Dreamo Cell, he gets double damage and gonna go for a very, very quick Roshan. Boom Esports will surround the Roshan pit just in case. In fact, they found another.
Oh no.
Polison, kind of out of position here. Trying to get ready for a Roshan fight. Doesn't really work out.
Nah, and boom, they're starting to build up 6-9, 19 minutes in. A 3k advantage for themselves now. Even a Witch Doctor finishing up that Spirit Vessel at a pretty decent time. So they've got options available. They've got the items up and running. And T1, their draft was on a bit of a timer. It spikes down. Right? Initially really strong with Venomancer, spikes down a bit, jumps back up with Miracle. So the key thing is just let Miracle farm up, don't have him join in these fights. If you're not going to win them, wait for him to itemize on the right click, and maybe afterwards you can turn it around. You need IYD to give you that space. So he's going to have to show up for the defense.
Yeah, but the map's getting smaller and smaller, John. I don't know how much time Miracle has on that Luna. Polison doesn't get the Nightmare off on the Ursa. They will get the Witch Doctor though. Kesku does die. Miracle now going to go back to the fountain, it seems. Picks up his Yasha, almost has the Manta up. Scan. Going to find FBZ and Makoto, but Chains Roar comes out on In Your Dream, and they can actually take him out. He does try to get the Spear off in time. Mystic Flare is there from Jokam, but the Flame Guard blocks so much of that damage. Now Polison, he's been perched up on the Bane, and he will also die. And Makoto, he just spotted out Miracle. He knows he's there. But his teammates aren't too close by, and he hasn't got anything really off cooldown, so he won't chase for it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And that's just a slow bleeding out from T1, tossing heroes one by one in, and can they find Hyde?
Well, they should. He just took everything from Forev. Kesky's going to try and heal him up through it. They should be able to get deny off, but Forev won't be so lucky. He will go down, but now the Eclipse from Miracle does find Makoto.
That's really big. That's a lot for Boom to bleed out for really no reason. You were seeing the TP coming out from our Shadow Demon as well, and he cancelled it for the deny. So
Oh, poor Paulson. Gonna die there. Kesky's still channeling the Death Ward. Miracle gonna try and join in here within your dream, but Dream Assault's not done. He wants to go for more. FBZ doesn't have the Roar for another 5 seconds, but he'll wait. In your dream is probably gonna get roared up. In fact, no, they'll turn around now, going on to the Luna, and the tips come out.
oh man. Ooh.
Sergeant Yasha
Miracle.
now completed on Dream Assault.
Radiant's middle
Yeah,
tower
that's
is under attack.
it's really early timing, and they just want to play fast, play aggressive. Have to say, Kescute, bad placement from the ward there earlier. Placed it inside the arena, so none of the attacks were going out. Unfortunately, still, they're going to count that as a win because they got Miracle, they get the tier 2,
Has fallen.
and they build their lead up. 8k advantage now for Boom. T1, it hasn't been clean. They need to find these fights. But as you mentioned earlier, the map has shrunk. There's only so much space for Miracle to farm up, and he still needs a BKB to be up and running.
It's getting harder, that's for sure. Paulson gonna see Makoto there. Does go for the Fiend's Grip, but Hyde is there with Disruption. He had an Observer Ward around, just didn't really spot out Hyde, and yeah, he's gonna die now. Brain Sap coming out. He does have help around the corner. Makoto, he'll just jump in. Roar comes out on Forever as well. They are just melting. Makoto's Flame Guard damage is just burning them alive. He does commit the Poison over before he dies. Another double chain's coming out from Makoto. But no follow-up that time.
They're winning all these fights without the BKBs. Now Mikado has a BKB.
Oh,
You're just not going to touch him. There's no damage.
sorry, John, I've disconnected. One moment.
Oh, it's fine. Just a bit of high ground push. Just quacking at the tower.
All right, I'm back.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, not much. They
Radiant's
just force the
bottom
glyph out
tower is under attack.
and slowly but surely push in. There is still an Eclipse on Miracle, so there's an option there. Although he's actually not joining in, he's split pushing.
Bottom barracks
That's
are
probably the right decision here. Like, even with the Eclipse, I don't think it's going to be enough damage to control everyone on Boom Esports. But he may have no choice. He does have to join now. Makoto going to back off for a bit. They found that bot Rax. Going to Remnant out.
Dire's top tower
Does have the BKB if he really needs it anyway. They do run a Vatos him up, but he'll just turn around with the Sleight of Fist BKB now. Straight back after Paulson. That Bane gonna die now. Miracle gonna be in trouble. Does pop the Eclipse, but he's not really doing too much up against the Ember, and now he does die. And the arena doesn't really do anything. They'll go back for that bottom Rax. Just clean up the range Rax as well while you're there.
Dire's middle tower
Well, now they want to try and go after mid. Nightmare on Dreamer Cell, but doesn't really care.
It was a bit of an opening because the Aegis did expire still. No follow-up without the Luna. And the ranged Rax lives on 18 HP. I'm not sure if you just leave that alive because, well, you might as well just kind of deny it, I guess. But they'll hold on.
An objective is an objective.
Yeah, IYD doesn't go for it. So, Boom, 12k lead. No one died in that push. You look at Mikado, 2k in the bank, saving up for the Ags. And we know how much harder Embers are to deal with when the Ags is up and running. Even Dreamocell, you know, he just finished up that Sanjin Yasha just literally 2 minutes ago. Is already pretty much close to his BKB. So, it's going to be unkiteable now on the Ursa. The one thing I want to see from Boom is, Kescute, you gotta stop dropping that Death Ward inside. You drop it outside of the arena, and
Radiant's
that's
top
all I
tower
ask
is
for.
under attack.
You leave Kescute alone. Not everyone plays Witch Doctor like you, John.
You mean Brain Dead?
Paulson gonna get jumped on. He did buy back. Gets a Nightmare off onto the Ember. Axes, gonna give vision on Paulson. Makoto probably still wants to go for this, but he only has one remnant available right now. But no, he is going. Paulson will avoid death, but now In Your Dream's been caught out. He does have the arena, but there's the roar coming out of FBZ. Paulson with the Nightmare will slow things down, but not much. In Your Dream will die in the end. Now Dreamers are actually in a bit of trouble, but he will turn around back onto Forev. Makoto taking the front lines there with the BKB up. They're going to go after the Skywrath. In Your Dream buying back, going for the arena, but missing the spear. And now with the Melodic, Fiend's Rip is there on Dreamer, so he's in trouble though. No, they cancel that off. Paulson still trying to run. He is going to end up nightmaring himself, but going down. Joe Cam now with the Rod of Atos, holding down the Ember. But none of them are dying.
Yeah, the sustain from Boom is just too much, even with the Spirit Vessel here in play. And now that Kezcute has mana, they were twacking Mikado. They wanted to deny him. Primo Cell. He just slapped Mikado around a bit and was like, okay, TP home, it's fine.
Oh, I saw.
You live.
Just in case. Don't want to
Just
risk
in
anything.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Well, that was 4 more heroes going down and 3 buybacks being expended from T1. Of course, Dreamer Soul going to go for the next Roshan. Aegis Cheese is going to be up. And there will be 0 contest for this Roshan, as you don't have buybacks on T1. You can't really afford to.
No, and well, you've got a lot of lives to contend with. Not like they've actually died. Dreamer Cell 6-0. He's had the Aegis twice, and the first time he did let that expire. It's starting to feel like he doesn't need it. As long as his team's around him to safeguard him, they've got ways of dealing with T1.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Man, I have to say, I really love this. Kezcute's still holding on to that keen op that he stole from Miracle. It's just so valuable on a Witch Doctor. Like, that is literally the worst item to give away. And it's not even Miracle's fault. He didn't want to kill that creep there. Oh.
It's a real shame.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire are scanning.
Now, the final outer tower is down for T1. Boom. Gonna look for a way back into that Radiant base. Miracle has a Divine queued up now. Just had enough of the way things are going. And mind you, it is up against a Shadow Demon, so it can work against you. Smoke up. Kezcute gonna break the smoke. Forever gonna be spotted out. Now Paulson gets jumped on Makoto. He just is perfect on this Ember. Takes down both straight away. Onto Miracle. In Your Dream, what are you doing on the cliff, sir? What are you doing up there?
Oh.
What is he doing up? He blinked up there.
He blinked and speared.
Okay.
Kezcute, that's it?
That's it.
Oh, man. Oh. T1. It wasn't... I don't know what to say. That was dominant from Boom. They just found everything. T1, it felt like they were going into a comfort trap with a Veno for Forev. It doesn't pay off. They couldn't find that early momentum. And Boom, well, they just style around again.
Yeah, Boom is looking really, really good going into this group stage. That is their second 2-0 today as well. Before today, they were just all draws, but now 2 wins, 2 draws, and 0 outright losses. Unfortunately, though, John, that is it for tonight. We have gone through all the series. We'll have 4 more series on tomorrow, as per usual.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like me to read out the schedule for tomorrow, sir?
Please do.
All right. We have a Droid versus Geek Fam to start us off, followed by a Droid versus Execration after that.
Oh, yeah. Pinoy teams.
Signal Ultra versus T1 for the third matchup, and Neon Esports is going to be up against RR for the final match. That's another thing that happened. LGD International actually dropped out and were replaced by Neon. So,
yeah.
In case anyone was wondering why they're here and LGD isn't, that's what happened. So,
yeah.
That's it for us tonight. It is MLP Dota and John X Fire. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you all again tomorrow night for some more great SCA Dota.